feel that weak version of your soul, he's still in there. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The version of you that falls when things get uncomfortable. The one that finds a reason to stop right at the moment where stopping costs the most. The ones that's been making your decisions longer than you want to admit. He's still running things, not all the time. Some days you beat him. Some days you feel the resistance and push through it anyway and go to bed feeling like the person you're supposed to be. Those days exist, but they are not the majority. And you know it. The majority still belongs to him. The weak version, the one who negotiates, the one who makes exceptions, the one who always has a completely reasonable explanation for why today is different. He's good at explanation. That's the thing about this version of you. He's not lazy in an obvious way. He doesn't just sit there and refuse to move. He moves. He just moves towards the easier thing every single time. And he always has a story for it. A justification that sounds almost right. A reason that's technically true even though the real reason is something he'd never actually say out loud. The real reason is always the same. It was uncomfortable, and he chose not to be uncomfortable. Dressed up in different language every time, but always the same choice underneath. Think about where this version of you shows up. Not in big moments. The big moments are easy to perform for. The big moments have an audience, have stakes, have the adrenaline of something that actually matters. The big moments are not where this version of you does his damage. He does his damage in private. In the small moment before the alarm goes off when nobody would ever know you didn't give up. In the minute before the hard email gets sent, when it's so easy to close the tab and do it tomorrow. In the quiet space between deciding to do something and actually starting. Where this version of you lives full time, waiting, full of the reasons to delay, full of arguments for why timing isn't quite right yet. That's his home, and you've been letting him there, rent-free, for a long time. Here's what this version of you actually cost you. Here's what this version of you has actually cost you. Here's what this version of you has actually cost you. Not in some vague, general sense, specifically, the person you are supposed to be by now that you are not yet. Specifically, the person you are supposed to be by now that you're not yet. The thing you said you'd build that's still not built. The version of yourself you've been promising for years that keeps getting pushed to the next month, next quarter, next year. That gap between who you are and who you said you'd be. That's him, not your circumstances, not your resources, not the people who didn't support you or the opportunities that didn't come through. Those things exist. They are real, but they are not the main thing. The main thing is this version of you, choosing the easier option in a thousand small private moments, compounding quietly into a life that looks nothing like the one you said you wanted. And here's the part nobody says. You have been protecting him, not consciously, not deliberately, but protecting him nonetheless. Every time you gave yourself the grace period he asked for, every time you accepted the reasonable explanation he offered, every time you told yourself you'd be harder on starting the next week, you are protecting him, giving him exactly what he needed to stay. The weak version of you doesn't survive hard standards. He can't. He's built for comfort and he dies in discomfort. The reason he's still in there is because you haven't made things uncomfortable enough for long. You have applied pressure and then released it, applied it and released it, just enough to feel like you're trying, never enough to actually make him leave. He leaves when you stop negotiating. That's the only exit. Not a gradual phase out, not a slow reduction of his influence, a full stop. A decision made today that his voice no longer gets a vote. Not a reduced vote, no vote. The moment this version of you says, maybe we should wait, you do the thing immediately. The moment he says you deserve a break, you do an extra rep. The moment he says tomorrow, you do it now, while he's still suggesting you don't have to. That's how you kill him, not by ignoring, by doing the exact opposite of whatever he suggests. Every single time, until he stops suggesting things because you already know the answer. This This is going to feel wrong at first. It's supposed to feel wrong. The weak version of you is so established that acting against him feels unnatural. It feels excessive. It feels like you're being too hard on yourself. He will frame discipline as cruelty. He will frame standards as punishment. He will make rest feel earned when it isn't, and make comfortable feel like self-care when it's actually just avoidance. You have to know the difference. Real rest comes from real effort. Real self-care builds you up. The version this week self offers you is quite the opposite. Rest before effort, comfort instead of work, care that protects him from discomfort instead of care that actually serves the person you're trying to become. Learn to tell the difference in your body. There's a feeling you get when you genuinely need to stop, and there's a different feeling you get when the weak version of you wants you to stop. They don't feel the same once you start paying attention. One feels like genuine depletion, the other feels like resistance, like friction, like something that doesn't want to actually become what you're becoming, like something that doesn't actually want you to become what you're becoming. That second feeling is him. Here is something worth understanding about the weak version of you. He didn't show up overnight. He was built slowly through every small surrender you made over a long stretch of time. Every time you chose comfort when you should have chosen growth, you added one more brick to the version of yourself that now lives there. He is literally constructed from your own past choices, which means he can deconstruct the exact same way, one choice at a time, in the opposite direction. The same process that built him is the same process that removes him, except this time, choices go the other way. And unlike him, the version being built in this place doesn't fold. Push through it every time, not occasionally, every single time. Because every time you push through it, you take something from him. And every time you give in, you give something back. The score changes one moment at a time, and right now the score is higher than it should be. Change the score, not tomorrow, in the next hour, in the next decision that comes down to comfort versus growth. Let the decision go differently than it usually does. Not because you feel different, because you decided to be different before the feeling had a chance to vote. The man you are born to be is not the man this weak version has you letting you be. The man you are born to be is not the man this weak version has been letting you be. The man is harder, more consistent, quieter, in a way that people who have actually built something tend to be quiet. He doesn't need external validation because he has something better. The internal knowledge that he showed up when the weak version said don't. That he did the work when nobody was watching. That he built the life the weak version said was too hard. He's not a fantasy. He's not some impossible version of you that only exists in theory. He's who you actually are underneath the version that's been running things. But he only comes out when this version of you dies. Not fades, not reduces, dies. Today is the day you decide that happens. Not gradually, not eventually. Now, in this breath, in this decision, in everything that comes after this moment. Because here's what waits on the other side. Not perfection, not some version of you that never struggles or never feels resistance, but a version that meets the resistance anyway, but the version that meets the resistance and moves anyway. A version that the weak self can't reach anymore because the gap between who you were and who you're becoming has finally grown too wide for him to cross. That's not a fantasy. That's what consistency, choosing the harder thing over a long enough period of time, actually produces. A man the weak version of him can no longer recognize. A man who wouldn't go back even if he could, because he's finally felt what it's like to be someone he actually respects. The man exists on the other side of today's decision, and the only thing standing in between you and him is the moment right now where you choose which version run things next. Kill the weak version and go become the man who did.